Hey guys, check out my new store on Etsy called Nina's Nightly Comforts, where you can find everything from men's t-shirts to women's cozy pajama dresses, men's and women's tank tops for those warm nights, throw pillows, a warm and toasty fleece blanket for those cool fall nights that are yet to come, a mug perfect for tea, coffee, or your favorite beverage, and last but not least, a limited supply of specially handcrafted by me dream catchers to capture all of your nightmares that my creepypastas will leave you with. Everything to get you comfortable and in the right mood to listen to your favorite creepypastas. You can find the link posted below in the description and also in my community tab. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to keep me in your nightmares. Hey, what are you doing in there? Did you find the extension cords yet? I shout from the front yard at my boyfriend Dex. Yeah, here they are, he replies, walking out of the garage with a bunch of them tangled together in his hand. He tosses them to me, and then I sit down on the porch and start to unravel them. Excuse me, where do you think you're going? I ask when he starts heading inside. Shivering, he complains. Come on, Sabrina, it's freezing out here. Plus, you know decorating for Halloween is your thing, not mine. Well, can you at least make me some hot cocoa then if you're not going to help? Sure, I'll be right back, he says as he hurries inside with a relieved look on his face. Dex and I have been dating for a little over a year, so this is only our second Halloween together. But anyone who knows me knows how obsessed I am and crazy I can get when it comes to Halloween. Saying that it's my favorite holiday is an absolute understatement. I guess I have my parents to thank for that, because growing up, Halloween was always a huge thing in my house. It was tradition for us to spend the entire month of October doing fun Halloween activities together, like pumpkin carving, visiting our local farm in our area, and taking a ride on their haunted hayride, navigating our way through a corn maze, and of course, trick-or-treating. I remember when I was younger, all of my friends would always ask me, how could you possibly love Halloween better than Christmas? And yeah, I know there are no gifts or extravagant meals to prepare, but that doesn't mean that Halloween isn't special. The whole month of October gives me an excuse to pig out on the adorable spider donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, drink pumpkin spiced lattes every morning from Starbucks, and lie around in my pajamas watching scary movie marathons at night. And with me being a makeup artist, the Halloween season is a particularly busy time for me. A lot of theme parks hire me to do the special effects makeup for all of the ghouls, goblins, and other scary monsters you may come across if you decide to visit one during the month of October. Obviously, I'm too old to trick-or-treat anymore, but thankfully my little brother and even a few of my cousins are still young enough to go. They always bring back a huge haul of candy and then put the Twix, Kit Kats, and Reese's aside for me. I mean, yeah, I know I could always go out and buy my own candy from the store, but it's just not the same. I'm only 19 and live in a small 2-bedroom duplex apartment, but that doesn't stop me from elaborately decorating. Luckily, my neighbor has 2 little kids that also love Halloween, so she doesn't mind letting me use both mine and her side of the yard to place my many Halloween blow-ups, which include various Charlie Brown characters, a ghost, a witch, a skeleton, and the newest addition that I just went out and bought today, Baby Yoda holding a pumpkin. I've also got tons of signs planted up the entire walkway leading up to my front door, with dire warnings to trespassers, warning them to stay out and enter at their own risk. Don't even get me started on the inside of my apartment. Just walking through the door, you'd think that you were entering a haunted house, the way it's covered from top to bottom with decorations in there. I'm currently in the process of trying to hang up some orange lights around the banister outside on the porch, which is what I needed the extension cords for. And not only do I decorate literally every square inch of my place, I also still help my parents decorate theirs every year and attend Halloween events all month long. The only thing is that I hate going alone, so I usually have to force my boyfriend and sometimes even some of my other friends to come along. They all enjoy Halloween too. Well, everyone except for Brianna, but just not nearly as much as me. I'm always the most excited out of all of us. Every year, I try to get them a little more into the festivities by planning things for us to all do together. And this year, we're starting things off with the haunted house. So yeah, I guess it's safe to say that I love anything and everything that has to do with Halloween. It's been that way since I was a kid, and will probably be that way until the day I die. At least I hope I'm still into it this much when I'm an old lady, I think to myself with a grin. I finally managed to get the extension cords untangled and set up the lights, so then I head inside. Dex is just finishing stirring my hot chocolate. He puts a handful of mini marshmallows on top, just as I take off my hat, scarf, and coat, and then he picks up the mug and hands it to me. Thanks, I reply with a warm smile. Are you finally finished decorating? He questions. Yeah, I think so. Why? I wanted to take you out to dinner tonight before I head home. Glancing at my watch, I reply, why don't you just get something delivered? Or, better yet, you can go pick it up, and while you're at it, stop and grab me a half-dozen Halloween donuts from Dunkin' on your way back. That way I don't have to stop in the morning on my way to work. Aren't you sick of those things yet? It's only a week into October, and you've been eating them every day. Correction, I eat one every day. I buy half a dozen every Monday morning to last me the entire week. You've been the one scarfing down 2 or 3 of them every time you see the box lying around. Alright, I'll stop and get you some more. Is pizza cool with you? Yeah, that's fine. Look, I know you like just plain cheese, but can you do half plain, half pepperoni this time? Yeah, sure, he says, as he gives me a quick peck on the lips and then starts walking toward the door. And cheesy bread too, please, I add, just as he's closing it behind him. As soon as I'm sure that Dex is gone, I head to the living room, plop down on the couch, grab my cell phone, and then head to the app store and type in the name of the new app that I've been dying to check out. I've just been so busy that I haven't had the time to do it until now, but it's all that everyone has been talking about lately. I first heard about it when I saw an ad for it online somewhere about a week ago, and since then I've seen countless TV commercials advertising it. Not to mention, all of my coworkers keep telling me about it. A few of them have already even signed up and joined. Halloween Scares is a company that hires individuals to go out and scare unsuspecting people. Actually, I guess they're not really all that unsuspecting if they're the ones who sign themselves up. But if someone they know unwillingly signed them up, then they wouldn't suspect a thing. Hey, that would actually make for a pretty entertaining reality show, I think to myself with a giggle. So basically, it's an app that you download and then use it to sign up, to have random people come and scare you when you least expect it. But the catch is that the app is only available for the entire month of October. After that, you won't be able to find it anywhere. I think that whoever came up with this idea is ingenious. It's the coolest thing I've ever heard of, and I can't wait to sign up and join. I read through all of the rules and regulations, check the box at the bottom that says I agree to them all, and then start to enter my personal information, like name, address, and email. I also have the option to let them know where I work, but since that changes on a regular basis, I choose to leave that field blank. Then I enter my credit card info. It's going to cost me $100, plus taxes of course. But honestly, that's not a bad price to pay to get the crap scared out of you, I think to myself. After that, I get a confirmation message in my email's inbox thanking me for joining and then warning me to beware because I'm in for a scare. Immediately I wonder, where have I heard that before? Then it hits me. Duh, it's from Goosebumps. How could I have forgotten? I binge watch as many of their episodes as I can every year around this time. My favorite is The Haunted Mask, Part 1 and 2. Really, this place couldn't come up with a slogan of their own? When Dex returns with dinner, as well as my donuts, I tell him all about the app and that I signed up, and then urge him to do the same. No thanks. It's like you're just asking for a heart attack. Who in their right mind wants to be scared like that by some random person? And I can't believe that you gave them your address. That seems kind of dangerous to me. Will you relax? I'm sure they do background checks on the people that work for them. Yeah, well, you better hope so. I hear crazy stories all the time on the news about weirdos and creepers working at hospitals, nursing homes, all over at these places that you wouldn't expect them to be able to get a job because they supposedly do background checks there too. And this is just some app that I've never even heard of until today. Well, thanks for creeping me out now. But it's too late. I already signed up. So I guess I'll just see what happens. The following night, Dex and I meet up with a group of our friends for dinner. I figure that this is the perfect time to bring up the haunted house. So, you guys know how much I love Halloween and doing fun things the whole month of October. Well, Dex and I are planning on going to a haunted house this weekend, and we were hoping that you guys would all be able to come too. Sorry to say, Sabrina, but you and I don't have the same ideas when it comes to fun, my friend Brianna says. Aw man, I've got to work all weekend, so I won't be able to make it anyway, Stephanie chimes in. Well, I'm down to go. I don't have anything better planned to do this weekend, so why not? Rocco answers as he takes a sip of his drink. Come on, Brianna, it'll be weird with just the three of us. Rocco will be like the third wheel. Please, I promise it'll be really fun. You can't promise me that, she says, as an embarrassed look washes over her face. Brianna and I have known each other since we were kids, and she's always hated anything scary. One time, when I talked her into going to a haunted house with me when we were like 10, she had a horrible experience. It was so dark and crowded inside that somehow the two of us ended up getting separated, and one of the actors jumped out and scared the crap out of her. And when I say that, I mean they literally scared the crap out of her. The whole car ride home, we had to ride with the windows down because the smell was so bad. And it was like 30-something degrees out that night, so we were all freezing to death while trying to hold our breath at the same time as the wind was blowing in our faces. I haven't brought it up since, but her brother won't let her live it down. Well, can you at least just think about it? Yeah, I guess. Thankfully, Dex changes the subject and asks, So, have you decided on which haunted house you want to go to? Butting in, before I have a chance to answer, Rocco says, Wait a second, I thought we were just going to go to the same one that we went to last year. No way, I refuse to go back there. That one is so cheesy, it's not even scary. And nothing but a bunch of teenagers and little kids go to that one. I see nothing wrong with that, Brianna replies. That won't be any fun, and you know it. But listen, I found one. We've never been there before, but it sounds super cool. It's only like an hour away from here. And I heard that this place is actually really haunted. I don't know, Sabrina. I can tell that Brianna is really hesitant to go, so finally I tell her, Look, remember how you asked me to come skydiving with you for your next birthday? Yeah, but you don't want to go because you're terrified of heights. Yeah, well, you're terrified of haunted houses. So let's make a deal. If you come with us this weekend, then I'll suck it up, face my fears, and agree to go skydiving. She takes a moment to think about it, but then finally asks, You promise? Yes, but only if you do the same and come. And no backing out at the last minute like you always try to do. Letting out a sigh, she answers, Fine, I guess I'll come. But I swear, if anything horrible happens, I will never ever in my life go to another haunted house. Okay, I say with a smile. Then I proceed to tell them about the Halloween Scares app and encourage them to join. Rocco agrees. He's always up for trying new things, and even Stephanie says that she'll give it a try. But of course, Brianna refuses and argues that we're all absolutely nuts. After dinner, we all go our separate ways, and then Dex and I meet back up with Brianna and Rocco at my apartment on Saturday night. We decide to only take one car since it's an hour's drive, and we choose to drive there in Dex's, and we're all going to chip in for gas. So I type the address into the GPS and then we get on the road. At first, we're driving on the highway for a good 40 minutes or so, but then the GPS instructs us to get off at the next exit, and that leads us onto a long, windy, dark back road. Where in the hell is this place? In the middle of no man's land? Dex asks, complaining. We're almost there. Finally, 20 minutes later, we arrive and find a spot to park in the makeshift parking lot, which is basically just a field of grass. There are about 30 other cars here, so obviously this place is more well known than I thought it would be, as for it being in the boonies. A slight breeze starts to blow as we approach the ticket window and purchase our tickets. I hope it's warmer than this inside, Brianna says as she fights to hold her hair back and keep it from blowing in her face. After Dex hands each of us a ticket, we make our way over to where the line has formed to get inside. The music is so loud you can hear it from outside. Brianna glances at me with a look of concern. Will you stop it? You know these places always play this spooky music. Yeah, but why is it so loud? You know what? Never mind, I already know why. It's so that people can sneak up on you and you won't even be able to hear them coming. Isn't that the whole point? Rocco asks, sounding kind of annoyed. Ignoring him, I tell her, just stay close. I'll even hold your hand if you want me to. She nods her head and then slides her hand into mine. After another 5 minutes, we approach the entrance, and the man standing outside guarding the door, dressed as a creepy clown, opens it to grant us entry. Large painted eyes look down upon us as we walk past the man, and Brianna grips my hand even tighter as he glares at us. As soon as the door slams closed behind us, a thunderous echo reverberates all around us. Brianna lets out an ear-piercing shriek. Would you please not scream in my ear? I yell at her. Sorry, she shouts back at me. We walk single file down a long dark hallway, then through the first door. As soon as it closes behind us, the lights begin to flicker and whispers flood the room. I can only catch a glimpse of Brianna every time that the light flickers back on for a second, but I can definitely tell that she's still here because of the deadly grip she has on my fingers. Just as I'm about to tell her that she has to loosen her grip a little or she's bound to break a bone in my hand, something tugs at the back of my sweater, something with an icy grip. Immediately, I freeze as a chill runs down my spine. I know for certain that there's no way it could have been Brianna, because not only is she walking right next to me, but also her hands are hot and sweaty, not freezing cold. Just as the light flickers back on for a second, Brianna sees the look of terror on my face. What's wrong? She shouts over the music. Something or someone just touched me. But I thought you said before that the actors aren't allowed to touch us. Yeah, they aren't, but that doesn't mean they follow the rules, I say, looking around. Dex and Rocco have already walked on ahead of us, so I shout for them to come back and then tell them what just happened. As other people start to pass us, Dex quickly takes a look around and then says, I don't see anyone. Look, you and Brianna just stay close to me and Rocco so that it doesn't happen again. And then once we get out of here, we'll find whoever's in charge and let them know what happened. I nod my head in agreement and then grab a hold of his hand while Brianna now lets go of mine and takes Rocco's instead. We make our way through a long black curtain-like door into the next room. The room is decorated to look like a little girl's bedroom. There's a pink canopy bed in front of a make-believe window adorned with white curtains with flowers and butterflies on them. There are toys strewn all around, including a porcelain doll with the head missing. The group of people who had just walked past us in the other room are no longer in sight. They must have ran right through here. I cringe and squeeze Dex's hand when I hear a man whisper,
Get out!
And it sounds like he's right next to me, whispering directly in my ear. Then a second later, a little girl's panicked screams fill the room, and she cries,
Please, help me, I'm scared.
I inch my way closer to Dex and quickly glance over my shoulder to make sure that Rocco and Brianna are still behind us. When I see that they are, I breathe a sigh of relief and speed up a little. Just as I place my hand on the handle of the wooden door to exit this room and enter the next, the little girl cries out once more, begging,
Don't go, don't leave me.
That's when I glance back again and see that the bed is now covered in blood, which I swear wasn't like that before. As I walk through the door, I think to myself, this is definitely the creepiest haunted house I've ever been to. And that's when a shiver curls through the hairs on the back of my neck and then cascades down my backbone. Just as we enter the next room, the scent of tobacco smoke lingers in the air, and I hear the sound of a rat squeaking and feel something run across my foot. When I jump, Dex laughs and says, "What are you so afraid of? This was your idea to come here." I lean a little closer and whisper in his ear, "Yeah, I know, but I never said that I wouldn't get scared." Suddenly, there's a drastic drop in temperature, causing goosebumps to pop up on my arms, and then thick smoke fills the room. The scene set up in this particular room contains a small cabin surrounded by woods. The cabin is completely dark, but just as we start to walk past it, suddenly one of the lights comes on, and then we hear the sound of a door slamming, followed by a chainsaw starting up and then revving. Mine, Dex's, Brianna's, and I even hear Rocco's screams ring out as a very large man with a devilish, sadistic grin on his face walks out from behind the cabin holding a chainsaw. We all start running as fast as we can and end up nearly tripping over each other as we try to get out the door into the next room. The man starts coming after us. He's not running, just walking rather fast, a little faster than I'd like. When Dex and I go charging through the door into the next room, I see that it separates into two different paths. Rocco and Brianna somehow got ahead of us and are already gone, and I have no idea which path they took. Dex leads us down the one to the left, and I pray that that's the same one they took, because if it isn't, and we all get separated, Brianna very well might have a nervous breakdown. We walk down the dark path hand in hand until we start to see light shining. We continue to walk toward it, and thankfully it leads us to the exit of the haunted house. We bust through the doors, and even though I had a pretty good time, I'm relieved that it's finally over. I look around, searching the crowd for Rocco and Brianna, but can't find them. "Shit, they must still be inside," I tell Dex. He pulls out his cell. "Here, I'll just try to call Rocco." There's no reason to. He'll never hear it ringing in there with how loud the music is anyway. One of us is going to have to go back in and try to find them, while the other waits out here just in case they do come out. "Let's just wait a few more minutes," Dex suggests. I can tell that he doesn't want to go back in. "Alright," I say, as my eyes stay fixed on the exit doors. Luckily, after a couple more minutes pass by, Brianna comes busting through them, and then two men that I don't know follow her out carrying Rocco. "What in the hell happened?" I ask, rushing over. With tears in her eyes, she answers, I don't know. The two of us got separated, and then I heard him screaming my name. He was yelling for help, so as terrified as I was, I made my way toward the sound of his voice and found him lying on the ground. He said that he thinks he was attacked. Someone snuck up behind him, and then the next thing he knew, he was flying across the room, and he crashed into a bunch of the props. They collapsed on top of him and crushed his leg. He can't walk. He thinks it may be broken." Looking over at Rocco's leg, I tell Dex, "That looks pretty bad. Maybe we should call an ambulance." Looking around at the crowd of people starting to gather, he replies, "No, let's just get out of here. We'll take him to the hospital." Then Dex and one of the other guys who already helped Rocco out of the haunted house help carry him to the car. As we drive away, I turn around and look back, only to catch a glimpse of a dark shadow standing alone in the parking lot watching us. Instantly, I get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach, like something was wrong with that haunted house. But I decide not to say anything about it because I don't want to upset or scare Brianna any more than she already is. I drop Dex and Rocco off at the hospital and then take Brianna home. Turns out that Rocco did break his leg, so now he has to wear a cast for the next 8 weeks. Over the next few days, I stay pretty busy with work. I want to plan something else for me and my friends to do, but I'm pretty sure that Brianna won't want to do it. Not to mention, Rocco is incapacitated at the moment, so I'm not really sure how that would work out. Looks like it may just be me and Dex next time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like the more the merrier. Right before I get off of work that night, I get a call from Stephanie, basically inviting herself over so that we can have a girls' night and watch scary movies. She feels bad that she had to miss out on going to the haunted house. So that night around 9, she arrives with a bag full of Halloween candy and other goodies that will be perfect for our movie marathon. We pop a bag of popcorn in the microwave, then add Bunch of Crunch and some M&Ms to it and grab a soda from the fridge before deciding on a movie. We both agree on the original Halloween, so I pop in the DVD and then get comfortable on the sofa. Just as the movie starts getting good, my cell phone rings, and when I go to answer, I notice that the call is from an unknown number. "Who is it?" Stephanie asks, as she shoves a handful of popcorn in her mouth. Shrugging my shoulders, I reply, "I don't know." I pause the movie and then answer. "Hello?" I say, but get no response. There's nothing but silence on the other end of the line. "Hello?" I say again. Still nothing. Stephanie looks at me confused and then whispers for me to hang up. Just as I'm about to, I hear the sound of heavy breathing, and then a man's voice whispers,
Sabrina.
right before a loud static sound suddenly floods my speaker. "That was weird," I say after hanging up. I tell Stephanie what I heard. She assures me that it was nothing and says, "They probably just had the wrong number." "Oh, or maybe it was part of that thing you said you signed up for. What was it called again? Halloween scares?" "Yeah, probably just them trying to freak you out." "Yeah, I guess you're probably right." But just as I lie my phone back down on the coffee table and press play on the remote, I realize something. Stephanie couldn't possibly be right. I mean, yeah, maybe it was the wrong number. But if it was, how in the hell would the caller have known my name? But I know that there's absolutely no way possible that someone from Halloween Scares could have just called me. Because when I signed up, I never gave them my phone number. Don't forget to subscribe for new stories weekly. See you next time on
Nina's Nightmares.
Really? You're supposed to click the like button, not me. Ugh.